All right, welcome back. I'm sorry. Nico and Jess, since people were allowed to see other humans, and they are quite socially distanced from me, are here every day, working their collective tuchuses off, behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. I tried to convince Jess to come on air today, but no, her mom's baked me a cake, a pie, a lightweight, oven-free, coconut, pineapple, almond pie, which was unbelievable, cheesecake pie. And Frankie's got none of this so far.
Yeah, well, that's what they get for missing Friday's post-production meeting.
Yeah. Well, listen, we had we had quite the adventurous Corona so far. John Piscopo sent me a JT pie. He sent me a monogram pie. That's a first for me in life. I never got a monogram pie.
Wow.
You know, me and you did alternating pies.
That's right.
And it was strange that you picked Joe and Pat's, I picked Zero. So we were.
Yeah, you know, I ordered again from Joe and Pat's on Sunday. We had some folks over, and we ordered the vodka pie from Joe and Pat's. I'm embarrassed to say I'd never tried the vodka pie before. This was extraordinary. This is probably as good as any vodka pie I've ever had in my life. It was phenomenal.
So all you small businesses out there watching on Biz TV across the country, get out a vodka pie, because your local neighborhood, they probably don't have that, and it'll be the best in town no matter what, and you can advertise that. But Frank, what time would you say I left your house the other day? Approximately
11:30.
11:30. What time would you suggest we ate food?
6:30, 7 o'clock?
6:30, 7 o'clock. Then we sat outside. We figured out the media universe. We figured out our collective roadmap to conquering the universe over the next 60 days.
We talked a lot about Nico, which was fun.
Nico, we talked about a lot. That's a much better angle, right? But here's the thing. So you say I left your house at 11:30. The drinking went down towards the end. I was fine. Frankie gave me an espresso. It was okay. But
that's right.
When I woke up the next morning, believe it or not, I was trying to calculate it. I had I had 3/4 of a stromboli on my counter with a little jug of sauce that I had clearly dipped in a couple of times. It took 2 or 3 bites before falling asleep. So I was thinking, didn't I eat a steak at Frankie's house? Why did I order a stromboli?
It's so funny. Quarantine time, it's so different from regular time. The people that were over here on Sunday, where I think I worked my way, along with help from one other person, another additional bottle of bourbon. But there were 2 dinners that night, too. So it's just, you can't go by
what the heck is going on? I woke up in the morning. I mean, obviously, I slept soundly because we took down a significant amount of bourbon. But you know, then I woke up, I'm like, why is there a stromboli on my counter? What's wrong with
well, that's a question I can't answer, John.
No,
I don't know who
else is... I try not to eat after 8 p.m. You know what I'm saying? I must have picked up a stromboli on my way home from your house. It's crazy.
Right. One of the things you learn is that after you consume half a bottle of bourbon, then all these rules about when you're supposed to be eating and everything, they go out the window.
That's true. That's fair. And I think that's a general rule for people who partake in liquid lunches. And right now, Frank, by the way, between Biz TV and our growing Facebook audience, thousands of people every day are joining the liquid lunch movement.
I missed the last part of what you said there, but 1,000 people every day, you said?
I said thousands of people, it seems, every day are joining the liquid lunch movement. Watching the show, participating, sending us in, comments, feedback. I love that stuff.
Well, that's exciting. Now, there is one interesting, there's a ton of interesting things in the news, but there's one interesting story that I wanted to bring to people's attention that might help them, actually, is that we're seeing some research from some key academics around the world, and these are real academics from Swansea University. It's scientists. They studied the ring fingers of men in 41 different countries, and they found that when men have short ring fingers, the death rate and the risk of getting COVID-19 and dying from it is far greater in people that have shorter ring fingers. So the longer your ring finger is in comparison to your index finger, the less risk you have. And they have some explanation as to that, because apparently your ring finger is determined by the amount of testosterone you got in utero, and that testosterone is thought to be protective against severe COVID-19 by increasing the number of ACE2 receptors. So if you have a long ring finger in comparison to your index finger, and you're a man, you should be in good shape here.
So
if
wait,
you don't,
you know, that was unbelievable scientific. I don't know about the reputability of Swansea University, but you're saying, if I heard you right.
No, I'm not saying.
Oh, Swansea. They're saying if your ring finger is longer than your pointer finger.
Well, most people have it that their ring finger is longer. It has to do with how much longer it is. So what they recommend is measuring both your index finger and your ring finger in millimeters, then divide the index finger length by the ring finger length. That's your digit ratio. A short digit ratio indicates a protection against COVID-19. A long digit ratio, that indicates the opposite.
Well, there's some science out there that also talks about the ring finger, so I think I'd rather be in the long digit ratio myself personally, but we'll talk about all that science and more right after this with one of the best defense attorneys on earth, Jeffrey Lichtman.
Most financially successful people own assets that make them money while they sleep. They usually own real estate, vehicles, intellectual property, equipment, and more. These assets make passive income through leases, subscriptions, royalties, and fees that don't require time, energy, or attention. Your assets do the work, and you collect the check. So what kind of asset should you buy? The most valuable companies in the world, like Amazon, Google, and Apple, all have the same thing in common. They make a majority of their revenue from data technology assets, storing, collecting, processing, and providing data. It's all about the data. What if you could own data tech assets with a low upfront cost? Introducing Apex, a proprietary technology built to process and mine data and render artificial intelligence and 3D gaming at exceptionally high rates. Apex Tech has partnered with SafeTech, a subsidiary of a publicly traded company called InvestView. SafeTech's business model leverages Apex technology to disrupt the multi-trillion-dollar data tech industry, giving you the competitive advantage. SafeTech's growth strategy is to capture a significant share of the market. SafeTech will enter into a 60-month lease with owners of Apex Systems. Why would they do that? Why not just buy all the equipment themselves? The same reason most companies lease instead of own, to scale quickly without the upfront costs and for the tax benefits. So how do you get started? You purchase an Apex system. Then you can lease it to SafeTech for 60 months at a rate of $500 per month. That's a total of $30,000 paid to you over the life of the lease. So what's your responsibility besides purchasing the Apex system? Nothing. During the lease, SafeTech is responsible for any maintenance costs to keep things running for you. Just collect a check every month for the next 60 months. This tremendous financial opportunity positions you to follow the strategies of the financially successful. You can leverage data technology to produce passive income that generates revenue without your time, energy, or effort. This is what is meant by creating multiple streams of income. But the opportunity to participate will not last forever. If this concept fits your financial goals, take action today while you still have the chance.